We are here in the AI house at CES, and I'm joined by Denise, Zalés, and you do a lot, not just in the AI space, but also in the fintech space.
Yes.
What do you want to start talking about? Like, what's the number one thing you want to talk about while in this AI house room?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the space that is currently occurring and how all of these different technologies are coming together, both from the AI, the blockchain, the traditional, even apparel that has a different angle, that's all been something that's been very interesting in the last, I would say, maybe 2 to 3 years. And a lot of these technologies, even though they seem like they're segmented, they all intersect and they complement each other very well. So for me, I am an investor. I sit on a few boards. I own a few companies. And I also have done fractional investment officer roles for different companies that I can see that my network can currently leverage, be leveraged in their benefit. Mm-hmm. So what I'm excited about right now is how all of this is coming together. And I think the speed of how technology is moving, the information side of it, and how we're becoming a global society very, very quickly, mm-hmm. that to me is just absolutely thrilling on numerous levels.
There's so much happening right now, especially in the fintech space, and trying to, like you mentioned, the global economy, and trying to make sure that people can transact across the globe mm-hmm. as well. What do you see the future being a year from now, 5 years from now in that space?
In the fintech space specifically. Mm-hmm. So in the fintech space, what I see a lot is the use of central bank digital currencies, the rails at least, right? We still are very much restricted on a global scale by the different policies that exist depending on the location that this technology is being implemented. So what I see in the next few years is us as a human race being able to bridge a lot of those laws and privacy as well, right? As far as having the infrastructure to really scale it at large. And one of the largest issues that was discussed during the World Economic Forum this last year, and I'm sure it will be continued in the conversations next week in Switzerland, is that there isn't right now any real solution that tackles the unbanked. And as much as we would love to think that everybody has access to the same type of financing or banking or any of these technologies, there's a lot of different communities on a global scale, especially Africa and Asia and parts of Latin America, that are mobile first, and they do not have access to a lot of the history that other parts of the country, of the world, have already gone through that process. But I think in the next few years, we will definitely have the technologies in place and the education to make that happen.
And let's talk apparel.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because I love how you bridge it all together too.
So the one apparel company that I'm part of is Incrediwear right now, and Incrediwear has 4 patents and numerous studies, including by Johns Hopkins, the Mayo Clinic. It's wearable tech. So think of Lululemon with wearable tech embedded in it that not only allows us, similar to the Oura Ring, to get our vitals and give us real-time suggestions on how we can improve our health, but it has embedded in the actual material different elements that help increase blood flow, help increase the speed that our bodies recover, and decrease inflammation. And so for me, that was something that made sense from the apparel side because it ties into all the other elements within technology that are very crucial.
One thing that I really noticed with all of your interests and everything that you're doing is that there's a real human element to it. So even though it's tech, even though it's fintech, AI, it's really more human, right? Yep. So you're thinking of the person.
Right. So I think a big issue that is, I think, part of most conversations, whether it's in government, policy, politics, technology use cases, is how are we going to make our lives better and how are we advancing towards this, and I hate to say this as a buzzword, but one world society that also increases our effectiveness and ability to live longer, right? That is a big conversation right now. And some of the partners I currently work with, there is technologies in place that should increase our lifespan over 100 years old, but active, right? Not where we're falling down, breaking down, and where we have real data that helps us make healthy choices, but also live longer. learner. So I think all of that ties in together.
And I want to know your personal journey.
Yeah.
What was it in your life? And I've talked to people that tell, they say, oh, I was inspired at age 7.
Yeah.
But what was it that inspired you to really go on this journey of focusing on the human element of tech?
So I grew up with very big-hearted parents, overly educated, double PhDs, dealt with only philanthropy causes. And so from a very young age, I did see, I walked through refugee camps, I helped with homeless nonprofits. I saw it, I lived it as a child. And I went to a private school, but everything I did was related to these philanthropy causes, through my parents. And so I think my journey, I started young. I graduated from high school at 16, went straight to college, was an executive for a bank at 18, started collecting different degrees. I am walking through open doors, right? And I am mixed race. I am a mother of 4 daughters too, so I feel an obligation to advance these causes through the technology and through the conversations and networks that I'm part of, right? So I think it was embedded from a young age, but then the doors just continued opening.
So many people are wanting to know what they should teach their kids in this space. What are you teaching your daughters, and what do you think everyone needs to be teaching their children?
I love this question. So I think the number one thing that needs to be taught right now is a life learner mentality and flexibility. I heard it said before that a lot of the careers our children are going to grow up and be and practice do not currently exist.
Yes.
So just to think of that, right? We are raising children that are going to currently be employed in positions that do not currently exist. So teaching children to be flexible and to love learning and to have that curiosity is absolutely vital.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is excellent conversation.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate you taking the time to
Thank you.
to share your life journey too.
Thank you.
Thanks.